Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Trading Success Podcast. Apologies for missing out last week, but we had an enormous week last week with our TBS program. So thank you to all of our TBS students and crew for making the program incredible. So let's get into what's happening this week and let's review what's happened over the last couple of weeks. So let's bring up some of these charts and get right into it. So let's have a look at Nasdaq daily chart. So you can see at the start of August, we had that big drop coming from the FOMC announcement. And then we had some very good news last week with the CPI and employment indicators. And it looks like the market has really enjoyed those. So it looks like we're going to definitely have if things continue in terms of the CPI indicators and the employment indicators, it looks like we're going to have a rate cut in the United States, and an interest rate cut is I think being factored into these increasing prices in the Nasdaq index. So you can see we've rallied very strongly last week. So you can see this is the current bar today. This is Tuesday. Monday, we broke out of that high at 19,700. That was the level we're expecting a little bit of resistance. We got a little bit of resistance there on Friday. The market couldn't break out. We had this little doji reversal candle set up, but the low never got tested from Friday, and the market rallied very strongly in the United States cash market hours, and we've broken out above this height, and looks like we're hitting to the next liquidity zone up around 20,000 on the Nasdaq. You can see where the expansion zones are also based on this last big swing down. You can see we've retraced back against it. We've broken out of it, and we could be testing up around 20,400 points on the Nasdaq. S&P, let's have a look and see what the S&P is doing. S&P is very, very similar. However, we are a little bit higher priced. It's quite relative. The breakout from this swing down, the swing up is very similar to the Nasdaq. However, we are very close to our all-time high, up around 5,700 and around 5,730. So we're not far. So 5,700 looks like we could be nearing there very, very soon. It'd be interesting to see if we can hold above this prior high. If we fail up here and we pull back, we could see a retest back into this range, maybe a test of the 50% down around 5,360. So both with Nasdaq and S&P, make sure we can hold above the high. If we fail above this high here, it could be a trigger under 5,600. We could see a short back down, maybe a test of the midpoints. So we'll see how that goes. Markets look fairly bullish at this stage. One of the bullish markets that we're looking at is gold. Gold has been extremely bullish. Let's have a look and see. If we look back at end of July, the market went into an expanding range. So we went from lower low to higher high. So we were in a bearish structure here. Then we went expanding. Now we pulled back, and it looks like we failed to get below the 76 of this swing here. So it looks like we found support above the 76, and now the market has went into a contracting range for a little while because it went from a higher high, higher low into a lower high. But then we went to a higher low, and you can see we failed at the 38% retracement on this swing up, and we pulled back to that 38 and we found support. So we couldn't get back to the 50%. Finding support above the 50%, the market has rallied higher. So I've just run an extension over this bullish uptrend, and you can see that we're holding above the 50%. We actually came back and retested that this morning, and we're actually holding above that level. So it looks like we could be sneaking up to the 100% extension in the short term on gold. Another bullish market looks to be, it's looking like it's turning bullish. Bitcoin has been fairly bearish. We did start to go bullish last week, or a few weeks ago, in July, I should say. We did start to go bullish in July. we failed up at those trend lines that we had up here. If we have a look at the Bitcoin trend lines, you can see we kind of failed up at those trend lines. We've faked out above those trend lines numerous times. You can see the trend channel on the low side as well. You can see we've I'll probably use this one here. You can see the market has tested that trend line numerous times, and we're holding above it. So we've got nice support down here, particularly the 76, around 54,000, 55,000 has been a support level. Now, this is the daily time frame. So you can see the daily time frame, we've gone from higher high to lower low. So we are in an expanding range. Now we have gone into a contracting range because we've gone into a lower high, and now we're in, potentially, if this holds above, we'll be in a higher low. So we're in a contracting range, potentially looking to expand out of that range. So if we look at some of these, fibs, you can see here we've failed at the 50%, down at 56. That was good support there. So if you do an extension level on the daily chart, quick extension from there to there, off the 50, you can see we're holding above the 25. If we keep showing strength above the 25, which is around about that 59 to 60,000 mark, high 59,000, 60,000, if we find support above there, I think we could go and test the next level, which is at the 50%, which is 63. Now, if we have a look at the 4-hour chart, I saw a very nice opportunity on the 4-hour chart, especially when you can see we failed down here around that 50% level. So we're finding that we're getting support on this expanding range here, this higher high to lower low. We came back into the range, failed at the 50%, and we started to swing trigger up. And you can see we're failing here at the 75. So the next point will be these expansion levels or these extension levels up at the 127, the 141 fib clusters. Like I said, if we can hold above these, you can see I've run and an expansion from that swing down. So we've extended that out, and you can see where those levels are. If we can break above these levels, then we could be extending up to 63. Once we break these liquidity zones as well, I don't think there'll be anything stopping this market running up to 66,000. So Bitcoin looks like it's turning bullish as well. It's gone bullish on the 4-hour chart. On the daily chart, it still isn't, but the lower time frames are looking to become bullish. The next one, which is probably the most disappointing chart, would be oil. Oil is bearish. You can see by these series of higher lows, lower lows, lower lows, and lower highs. So when we go from lower highs to lower lows, lower highs to lower lows, we are in a bearish state. So this market is potentially, it is still bearish. However, if we find some support down at some of these fibs within this range here, if we can find some support and we can start to push higher, then we're going to go into what's called a contracting range. So that level of 70 is a very important level. But if we can find support around 72, then maybe some good buying opportunities in this market may get some really good short-term trading opportunities trading in the range, particularly off the 76 and the 23s in this range here. But we'll see. Today the market still looks like it wants to go down, so we'll see what happens there. So that's about it for this week. Not much news on the horizon. But also just a quick announcement, we are heading down to Melbourne this Sunday. So please make sure you come out to the Melbourne hub if you're based down there. Make sure you RSVP. Check out our What's Ons. If you're not getting our What's Ons that are coming out Monday, just make sure that you're getting our emails. Just check your spam folders, junk folders, just in case they could be logging in there. Or you may have opted out, so you may need to get opted back into our emails. So it'd be great to see you coming down on Sunday, 12:30 at Chadstone. So if you want any more information, just RSVP and we'll give you the details for that. Thanks, guys. Have a great trading week and stay safe in the markets. Bye for now.